Hello friends, our today's subtopic is protein synthesis from molecular basis of inheritance. Already we have discussed about the first part of protein synthesis, that is transcription. Today we see the next part, that is translation. Transcription occurs inside the nucleus in eukaryotes while the translation occurs in the cytoplasm. Now what is this translation? Translation is a process of translating the codons of messenger RNA to a sequence of amino acids to form protein. This translation occurs in cytoplasm at ribosomes. Ribosomes acts as a site of protein synthesis. Translation is an intracellular process, that means it occurs inside the cell and all types of proteins are synthesized within the cell. This translation process has a translation machinery which contain amino acids, messenger RNA, transfer RNA, ribosomes, ATP, magnesium ions and enzymes. Now we see this translation machinery in detail. First is amino acids. Amino acids are raw material for protein synthesis. There are about 20 different types of amino acids are involved in protein synthesis. These amino acids are present in the cytoplasm, and during translation these amino acids are linked together by following the order and sequence of bases present on the messenger RNA and develops protein. Second is messenger RNA. Actually, DNA controls the protein synthesis. DNA acts as a master molecule. DNA is present inside the nucleus, and during transcription, the genetic information which is present on the DNA is copied on messenger RNA. Further, this messenger RNA comes out of the nucleus and it moves to the ribosomes for the protein synthesis. Then next is transfer RNA. Transfer RNA brings the desired amino acids which are present in the cytoplasm. Amino acids are the raw material, but these amino acids cannot recognize the coded language or the codons present on the messenger RNA, but the transfer RNA reads the genetic information which is present on the messenger RNA, and accordingly this transfer RNA places the amino acids at proper place. Hence, both messenger RNA and transfer RNA serve as a intermediate molecules between DNA and protein synthesis. Now, the next requirement is ribosomes. As we know, the translation occurs inside the cytoplasm, but the actual translation or the protein synthesis is carried out over the ribosomes. That's why ribosomes are known as a protein factories. This translation process is a very interesting process, and where the ribosomes really acts like a factory for the synthesis of protein. Each ribosome consists of two subunits. One is large subunit and another one is small subunit. Usually these two subunits, large as well as small subunits, occur separately in the cytoplasm, but during protein synthesis, these two subunits get associated together, and this association occurs in presence of magnesium ions, or magnesium ions are essential for the association of the ribosome. In eukaryotes, a groove is present in between the two subunits of ribosomes. This groove or channel, it acts as a tunnel for the messenger RNA. It also provides a channel for the releasing of the newly developed or newly formed polypeptide chain. And along with this, the groove also protects the polypeptide chain and messenger RNA from the action of cellular enzymes. A ribosome has a one binding site for messenger RNA, and this binding site is present on the smaller subunit of ribosomes. So the messenger RNA binds with the smaller subunit of the ribosome, and ribosome has three binding sites for transfer RNA, and these three binding sites are P site, A site and E site. First we see P site. P site, which is present in the center, and this P site also called as a peptidyl transfer RNA site. The actual translation begins at the P site. So only first transfer RNA amino acid complex, that means the initiator transfer RNA, directly enters P site of ribosome, and at this P site the translation process begins or initiates. The second site, binding site for transfer RNA, is A site. A site is also called amino acyl transfer RNA site or called acceptor site. Further amino acids are added, and at this A site the transfer RNA, amino acid transfer RNA complex, received to add a further amino acids in the polypeptide chain. Then the third site is E site, which is also called as a exit site, and from this exit site discharged transfer RNA is released in the cytoplasm. Okay, here we have seen the machinery of translation or a translation machinery. Okay, now we study the actual mechanism of translation or the synthesis of polypeptide chain. Mechanism of translation or synthesis of polypeptide chain. Mechanism of translation involves three steps: initiation, elongation and termination. Here we see the initiation of polypeptide chain. Before the translation initiates, the amino acids which are present in the cytoplasm gets activated by using ATP. Now the activated amino acid binds with the specific transfer RNA. Here this amino acid binds at the amino acid binding site of transfer RNA, which is present at the 3' end of the transfer RNA, and in this way the transfer RNA is turned into charged transfer RNA, which carries the specific amino acid. Further, small subunit of ribosome binds at the 5' end of the messenger RNA, and this small subunit of ribosome binds with the messenger RNA in such a way that the initiation codon of the messenger RNA, that is AUG, comes to lie at the P site of the ribosome. Then the charged initiator transfer RNA binds with the initiation codon AUG of messenger RNA by its anticodon UAC through hydrogen bonds. This initiation transfer RNA carries activated amino acid methionine in case of eukaryotes and formylmethionine in case of prokaryotes. Then the large subunit of ribosome combines or joins with the small subunit of ribosome, messenger RNA and transfer RNA complex in presence of magnesium ions. Then initiator charged transfer RNA occupies the P site of ribosome, which carries the activated amino acid methionine. By keeping the A site exposed or vacant, A site further receives the next charged transfer RNA, which carries the activated amino acid. In this way, the initiation of polypeptide chain occurs. The same initiation we can see through the animation. Let us see. See, in this animation, you can see how small unit of ribosome binds with the messenger RNA. Then initiator transfer RNA binds with initiation codon AUG of messenger RNA by its anticodon UAC through hydrogen bonds. It carries activated amino acid methionine in eukaryotes and formylmethionine in prokaryotes. Then the large subunit of ribosome joins with the small subunit of ribosome messenger RNA transfer RNA complex in presence of magnesium ions. And in this way, the initiation of polypeptide chain occurs. Now the next step is elongation of polypeptide. Elongation of polypeptide chain. During elongation, activated amino acids are added one by one to first amino acid, that is methionine, to form a polypeptide chain. This addition of amino acid occurs in three-step cycle. First is codon recognition. Here, the activated amino acid binds to the specific transfer RNA, which results into the formation of amino-acyl transfer RNA complex. This amino-acyl transfer RNA complex enters the ribosomes at A site. Only the initiator transfer RNA can enter the ribosomes directly at P site, but rest of the amino-acyl transfer RNA complex enters at the A site or received by the A site of the ribosomes. Further, the anticodon present on the transfer RNA binds with the codon of the messenger RNA by hydrogen bonds. In the second step, the amino acid on the transfer RNA at P site and the amino acid present on the transfer RNA at A site joins by a peptide bond in presence of enzyme ribozyme. The energy which is carried by this amino acid, that energy which is in the form of ATP, which is utilized during the activation of amino acid, that ATP is used in the formation of peptide bond. Further, the connection between the methionine and the initiator transfer RNA breaks, and in this way the transfer RNA which is present at the A site possesses dipeptide chain, and this uncharged transfer RNA shifts to the exit site of the ribosome. Now the third step is translocation. With the help of this animation, you can easily understand the translocation. In translocation, both the subunits of ribosome move along the transfer RNA and messenger RNA. Hence, the transfer RNA at A site carrying a dipeptide moves to the P site of ribosomes, making the A site vacant or exposed. Then the next charged transfer RNA molecule carrying amino acid is received by A site at the ribosome. As the ribosome moves over the messenger RNA, all the codons on messenger RNA exposed one by one for translation. Now in this next animation, you can see the further process of elongation. During this process, the first uncharged transfer RNA, which is present at the E site, is released into the cytoplasm. So the events like arrival of transfer RNA amino acid complex, formation of peptide bond, ribosomal translocation, and removal of previous transfer RNA is repeated. And as amino acids are added to form a polypeptide chain. For this process, it takes 0.1 second for formation of each peptide bond. Okay, in this way the elongation occurs. Then the next stage is termination and release of polypeptide. Third step is termination and release of polypeptide. As the ribosomes move over the messenger RNA, it reaches at the end of messenger RNA where the stop codon is exposed at the A site. This stop codon cannot be read by the transfer RNA because the stop codon never codes for any amino acids. There are 3 stop codons present in the genetic code, which are UAA, UAG, and UGA. When one of the stop codon is exposed at the A site of the ribosome, the translation process terminates. Here, this stop codon binds with the release factor and the process of translation terminates. As a result, the polypeptide chain is released free in the cytoplasm and the 2 subunits of the ribosomes get separated or dissociated, and the last transfer RNA is also released in the cytoplasm. The messenger RNA possesses some additional sequences which are not translated during translation process, and these regions are termed as the untranslated regions. The untranslated regions are present at both the ends of messenger RNA. At 5' end, these untranslated regions present before the initiation codon, and at the 3' end, these untranslated regions present after the stop codon. Okay. This messenger RNA is denatured by the action of nucleases enzyme, and in this way the translation process completes, which results into the formation of polypeptide chain. Okay, today we stop here. Thank you.